Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to unlock the power of, well, it's a fascinating compound, and it even has two names. Trimethylglycine, TMG, and betaine.
Indeed.
Talk about an identity crisis.
It's true, and that actually gives us a clue about its origins. TMG is often called betaine because it was first discovered in...
Sugar beets.
You guessed it, sugar beets.
So it's a beet-derived compound with a double life. That's a pretty strong start. But to really get into it, we've got a 2023 scientific review titled Betaine as a Functional Ingredient to guide us. What does this tell us about betaine? What makes it so special?
Well, one of betaine's standout qualities is its role as a methyl donor.
Okay.
Now, before you think this is getting too technical, let me explain.
Okay.
Methylation is like this incredibly important process happening all the time in our bodies, and betaine plays a crucial role.
Okay, so methylation sounds like a pretty big deal. Can you break it down a little further for us? Why should we care about it?
Think of it this way. Methylation is like attaching a sticky note, a methyl group, to different molecules in our bodies. These notes act as signals telling our cells what to do. And without enough sticky notes, things can start to go wrong. Betaine is one of the key suppliers of these methyl groups, making sure those notes get where they need to be.
So it's like betaine is the office manager, making sure all the memos are going out and the body is running smoothly.
Exactly. And the smooth operation impacts everything from liver function to how our cells reproduce. It's a fundamental process for keeping us healthy.
Wow. So betaine is like a behind-the-scenes operator, making sure everything is working as it should. Pretty impressive for something that comes from beets. Are there any specific examples of how this methylation process plays out in our bodies?
Absolutely. Take liver function, for example. Betaine helps your liver process fats, keeping everything running smoothly. And when it comes to cellular reproduction, methylation helps ensure our DNA gets copied correctly every time a cell divides.
So we've got healthy livers and well-organized cells thanks to betaine. Anything else this multi-talented compound is doing?
Well, it's particularly fascinating when we look at its connection to heart health.
Here's where it gets really interesting. I'm all ears.
Betaine plays a crucial role in converting homocysteine, an amino acid, into methionine. Now, high levels of homocysteine have been linked to heart issues.
Okay, pause for a second. We're getting into some serious science territory here. Can you unpack that a bit? What are homocysteine and methionine, and why should we care about them?
Think of homocysteine as a potential troublemaker in our blood. If its levels get too high, it can damage our blood vessels, increasing the risk of Turk disease. But betaine steps in like a superhero, converting that troublemaker into methionine, which is actually beneficial for our cardiovascular system.
So betaine is like a bodyguard for our hearts, keeping that homocysteine in check.
Exactly. It's a natural defense mechanism, and this conversion process is essential for maintaining healthy blood vessels and a healthy heart.
Okay, so we've got a methyl magician and a heart hero. I'm sensing a pattern here. This betaine is quite the overachiever. So how do we make sure we're getting enough of it? Betaines are a good bet, I assume.
You're right. Beets are a great source. But there's another surprising food group packed with betaine whole grains. Think quinoa wheat bran, even good old brown rice.
Wait, really? Whole grains? I'm already picturing a delicious quinoa salad with roasted beets. Talk about a betaine boost.
It's all about making smart choices and understanding where those powerful nutrients are hiding. And speaking of getting the most out of betaine, the study we're looking at also dives into the scientific methods used to extract and analyze it.
Okay, that sounds a little technical. Why is understanding the science behind extraction important for us?
Well, it's all about transparency and quality control. Knowing how betaine is extracted from foods and analyzed helps us ensure that supplements contain the levels of betaine they claim. It's about knowing you're getting what you pay for and reaping those amazing benefits.
That makes a lot of sense. Transparency is key when it comes to anything we're putting into our bodies. So to recap, betaine is a powerhouse compound that acts as a methyl donor, supporting liver function and cellular reproduction. It even helps protect our hearts by keeping homocysteine in check. And we can get it from foods like beets and surprisingly whole grains.
You've got it.
This is all incredibly fascinating. But I have a feeling we've only scratched the surface of what betaine can do. There's definitely more to this story, right?
Absolutely.
All right, listeners, stay tuned for part 2 of our betaine deep dive, where we'll uncover even more about this incredible compound.
There is so much more. And the abstract of this research article even hinted at some gaps in scientific literature when it comes to betaine.
Yeah, it did. It sounded like the researchers were saying there's still a lot we don't know about betaine. What are some of those unanswered questions? What has you particularly curious?
Well, one area that's generating a lot of buzz is betaine's potential role in athletic performance. Researchers are digging deeper into how betaine might impact muscle strength, power output, and even how our bodies compose themselves.
Hold on. Are you saying betaine could be a game changer for people hitting the gym? I'm suddenly very interested. What's the science saying so far?
It's still early days, but some studies suggest that betaine supplementation might enhance muscle protein synthesis. That's the process of building and repairing muscle tissue, which is crucial for anyone looking to get stronger. And it might even reduce muscle damage after those tough workouts.
So faster recovery times and maybe even better gains. That's definitely something I'd like to know more about. But I also have to ask, what about safety? Is betaine supplementation something we should be cautious about?
That's a really important question, and you're right to be cautious with any supplement. The good news is that betaine is generally considered safe when taken in moderate doses. However, just like with anything, going overboard could potentially lead to some stomach upset or other unwanted side effects.
Okay, so moderation is key, as with most things in life. It's always a good idea to check in with your doctor before starting any new supplement regimen, right? They can help figure out if it's right for you.
Absolutely. They can take into account your individual needs and health status to advise on the appropriate dosage. But let's get back to those knowledge gaps for a moment. What other areas of research on betaine are emerging?
Yeah, I'm ready to dive back into the science. What else are researchers excited about?
Another really exciting avenue is exploring betaine's potential benefits for cognitive function, how our brains work. Some studies suggest that it might positively impact memory learning and even mood.
Whoa, brain-boosting betaine.
Yeah.
This compound just keeps getting more and more interesting. It's incredible to think something found in beets could have such a profound effect on our brains. What's driving all this research interest? Why is betaine suddenly having its moment in the scientific spotlight?
I think there's a growing recognition that betaine is more than just a simple nutrient. It's what scientists call a bioactive compound, meaning it has the potential to influence a wide range of biological processes. And as we learn more about how it works, we're discovering just how versatile and powerful it really is.
It's amazing how scientific understanding evolves over time. We start with a compound found in sugar beets, and now we're talking about boosting brain power and athletic performance. It really highlights how interconnected different bodily systems are.
It certainly does. And it underscores the importance of a holistic approach to health and well-being. It's not just about fixing one symptom at a time, but understanding how different nutrients and compounds work together to keep us healthy overall.
Well said. This deep dive has really opened my eyes to the power of betaine. But before we wrap up part 2, I'm curious, what about you? What aspect of betaine's potential has you most excited?
That's a tough one. I think I'm most intrigued by the potential link between betaine and cognitive function. The idea that a simple compound should have such a significant impact on our brains is incredibly exciting to me.
I can definitely see why that would pique your interest. There's so much we still don't know, but the possibilities are mind-boggling. Well, listeners, we've covered a lot of ground today, but we're not done yet. Join us in part 3, where we'll dive into the practical implications of what we've learned and discuss how you can incorporate this amazing compound into your own life. Welcome back to the final part of our betaine deep dive. So far, we've explored its role as a methyl donor, we uncovered its heart-healthy benefits, and we even pondered its potential to boost our brains and muscles.
Right. And now it's time to bring it all home. What does this information actually mean for you in your daily life?
Exactly. We've talked about what betaine is and what it does, but how can we actually use this knowledge to improve our well-being?
Well, the simplest and most accessible way is through our diet. Remember those betaine-rich foods we talked about?
Oh, of course. Beets, quinoa, wheat, brown rice, all those delicious and nutritious options.
Precisely. Incorporating these foods into your meals is a great way to naturally increase your betaine intake. You could try adding quinoa to your breakfast bowl, swapping white rice for brown rice, or even roasting some beets for a flavorful side dish.
Small changes that can make a big difference over time. And speaking of making a difference, what about those potential benefits for athletes? Is betaine supplementation something worth considering?
As we discussed earlier, the research on betaine and athletic performance is promising, but still in its early stages. If you're thinking about supplementation, it's always best to do your research. Talk to a healthcare professional and choose reputable brands that prioritize quality and purity. They can help you decide if it's right for you and guide you on the appropriate dosage.
Safety always comes first.
Yeah.
But beyond diet and supplements, I think there's a bigger takeaway from our deep dive today, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Our exploration of betaine highlights the amazing interconnectedness of our bodies and the powerful influence that nutrients can have on our overall health.
It's not just about looking at individual compounds in isolation. but understanding how they work together is part of a complex and fascinating system.
Exactly. And as we continue to unravel the mysteries of the human body, we gain a deeper appreciation for the crucial role that nutrition plays in optimizing our well-being.
Well said. So as we wrap up our betaine adventure, remember this. Knowledge is power. The more we understand about the food we eat and the compounds they contain, the better equipped we are to make informed choices that support our health and vitality.
Stay curious, keep asking questions, and never underestimate the incredible connection between a well-nourished body and a thriving mind.
That's a great note to end on. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.